Welcome back to AST, where I am breaking down the MVP of the NFL. A lot of three-letter words for you there. So I got 3 nominations, and then I got 3 honorable mentions. So number 1, my man, Russell Wilson. He is 4th in passing yards with 2,737. He averages 8.4 yards per attempt, which is 5th. He has a completion percentage of 68.5, which is 6. He has the best touchdown to interception ratio of 23 touchdowns, 1 interception. He has the second best QBR with 78.2 and the number 1 rating of 114.9. He has rushed for 256 yards on 50 attempts with 3 touchdowns. So his offensive output is 2,993 yards. He has 6 touchdowns and 3 turnovers. 2 of those are pick. 1 of those was a fumble loss. And I just think that Russell Wilson is number 1 because he elevates his team like beyond the measure of what it was. Like if you take Russell Wilson off the Seattle Seahawks and plug in Geno Smith, who was the backup, like that team is maybe 8-8. Like the defense, besides last Monday night against the Niners, they tore it up. Previous for that night, they are really not that good. They barely got to the quarterback. And the offense is Chris Carson fumbles a lot, as we've all seen. He's 2nd in fumbles with 5. And it's a whole nother team without Russell Wilson. Since Russell Wilson is having one of his best years so far, it's him right now. He has 32 game-winning fourth quarter / overtime drives, including the playoffs. He had 5 this year, the 5th one coming against Monday night against the unbeaten Niners. That's also why he's number 1. He beat the best defense in San Fran, unbeaten going into a bye week, needed a very much needed win, and it's just crazy to think about. Went into San Fran, took everything from everybody to get the win. It's just crazy. He's got a tough schedule up ahead, though. He's got his bye week this week. Seattle is at Philadelphia, at home against Minnesota, travel to LA against the Rams. Then they go across the country to South Carolina, at home against the Cardinals, and then they close the season with the at-home Niners game. I feel like that Week 17 game against the Niners is going to be who wins the NFC West. Bet. Number 2 now, I got Lamar Jackson. Action Jackson. This dude is something else. He is, we're going to get into this right now. He is 20th in yards with 2,036. He averages 8 yards per pass attempt, and that is 7th in the NFL. He has a touchdown to interception ratio of 15-5, which is tied for 10th right now. His QBR is 76.2, 4th in the league, rating 101.7. That is 9th in the league. His completion percentage is 65.9, which is 13th. So just through his passing, kind of mediocre right now, but we all know that Lamar loves to run the ball. We may not like to run the ball, but he's a great runner. He has 706 yards rushing. He is tied for 7th with touchdowns, which is 6. He averages 78 yards rushing as a quarterback. That's crazy. Also, he leads the NFL in average yards per run, 6.6. So you have a quarterback who leads the league in rushing with 6.6 yards per attempt. He's 11th in total rushing yards. Yes, a quarterback is 11th in rushing right now. That's unheard of. He has a total offense output of 2,742 yards, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, has not lost any fumbles. So it's pretty crazy that this dude, for having 706 rushing yards, to having only 3 fumbles and none of those were lost. He is on pace to throw for over 3,000 yards and rush for over 1,000 yards, which is the first quarterback to ever do it. So he's already making himself be known. He beat the unbeaten Patriots, one of the best defense at home in Baltimore. Got to give it up to Action Jackson. Number 3, I got another young guy here. I got Deshaun Watson, coming off a bye week. Previous to that, he won a game in London against the Jaguars. So he has 2,432 yards. He averages 8.1 yards per attempt, which is sixth in the league right now. He's tied for third with his touchdown to interception ratio of 18-5. His QBR ranks him fifth with 75.1, fourth in rating with 107.1. This is pretty impressive. Third in completion percentage with 70.2, so better percentage than Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson. He has 279 rush yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Total offense output for Deshaun Watson, 2,711, 23 touchdowns, 6 turnovers. One of those was a fumble lost. Now, ever since Deshaun Watson came into the league, him, Cam, and Russell have been the most sacked quarterback. Deshaun and Cam by far the most sacked, and he puts his game over his body. You will see him stand in the pocket just to deliver a strike down the field. Like one of the memorable plays of this year from him is he's standing in the pocket against the Saints, and he's standing, and he, as he gets drilled, just launches it down the field. Touchdown, I believe it was to Kenny Stills or DeAndre Hopkins. Anyway, launches it down, and this dude always puts his game over his body. Another example is when, before they go to London, the Houston is playing the Colts, division rivalry right there. Deshaun's leading his team down the field, and as he's in the red zone, he gets a cleat while trying to dodge some people to his face, gets like scraped above his eye. So not only is his eye hurting and like closed, he throws the game-winning touchdown in the right corner of the end zone. Pretty crazy to me. He is undeniably great, and he is an elite playmaker. If he doesn't win it this year, Deshaun Watson will win MVP in the next 2 to 3 years. So those are my 3 MVP candidates. Now I'm going to get into my honorable mentions, and these are not going to be in any particular order. I just want to let you know in case some people are scared for what I have to say. Okay, so honorable mentions. I got my first honorable mention, like I said, not in any order. First one goes to Christian McCaffrey. He's got a total of 1,385 total yards. That's 1,385 yards. That's rushing and receiving. He's got a total of 14 touchdowns, and he has no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions thrown, none of this whack stuff. He has no turnovers. Pretty crazy. Right now, he's averaging about 154 scrimmage yards per game. If he stays healthy and does this for 9 more games, he will beat Le'Veon Bell's record that he has of 129 scrimmage yards per game. So not only will he beat it, but he'll kind of blow it out of the water by like 25 extra yards or so, which is pretty crazy for people who are like, oh, Christian McCaffrey is not going to be that good. He can't be the 1 through 3 down back, but he's proven everybody wrong. Props to this guy. This dude is single-handedly carrying the Panthers franchise as of this year. All right, another honorable mention goes to Patrick Mahomes. He has missed 3 games, mind you, missed 3 games with that kneecap dislocation. Let's get into some of these stats. He is 6th in yards right now. He has 2,626. He is 1st in average yards per pass attempt with 9. He is tied for 3rd with this touchdown to interception ratio of 18-1. So yes, he has as many touchdowns as Deshaun Watson, and as my next honorable mention, who I'll tell you in a second. He has a QBR rating of 78.1, which is 3rd, and he has a QB rating of 114.1, 0.8 less than the main man, Russell Wilson. So why isn't Patrick Mahomes in the MVP conversation right now, Alex? Well, let me tell you why. He's not in it because he's missed the past 3 games, and he has to put up these type of MVP numbers because his defense is horrendous. That Chiefs defense is so bad. So Patrick Mahomes has to go out and score 35 points a game. He has to throw for 400, 500 yards per game just so that the Chiefs can win. Like, that is going to put so much mileage on Patrick Mahomes that eventually it could ruin him. I mean, I don't want to say that right now. He is like 23, 24 years old, pretty young, but at the same time, like, Kansas City has got to do something about that defense. It is horrendously bad, horrendously bad. And with all the weapons he has, Travis Kelce, Damian Williams, LaShawn McCoy, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, Denard Robinson, like so many good weapons. Patrick Mahomes is only going to get better. I think the future of the NFL is going to be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson. Those are going to be the quarterbacks, just like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. I think these are the next wave of quarterbacks. Okay, the last honorable mention. This is where it gets a little tricky. This is kind of a sleeper one for me. Kirk Cousins. Yes, Kirk Cousins has somehow played his way into the MVP bottom of the conversation right now. He is 11th in yards, 2,437, so he has more yards than Deshaun Watson. He is 4th in average yards per throw, 8.6. He is tied. He's that three-way tie, right, between the touchdown-interception ratio with 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, all tied with 18 touchdowns. Yes, interception rate is different. I understand that, but 18 touchdowns between those three guys, one of those is not like the other, let me tell you. And he is a top 10 in QBR, and he is 3rd in the QB rating with 112. Pretty crazy. He has 49 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, total offensive output, 2,486, 19 touchdowns, 3 turnovers, no fumbles, anything like that, all interceptions. Somehow Kirk Cousins has managed his way through the NFL onto my paper for being an MVP candidate. He played pretty good. He played good against Dallas. Nothing too crazy. His next couple games, the Minnesota Vikings are some winnables, some losables. They got the Broncos, Seahawks, Chargers, Packers, Lions, Bears again. So 6 more games, potentially losing 3, potentially losing 2. But we all know that Kirk Cousins does not bode well under primetime games. Last Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys, he proved us wrong. That's all I got for you today. Please drop a comment, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button as too. I'm Alex Thompson. Thank you for tuning into Alex's Sports Talk Show. I'm out of here. Peace up, A-Town.